As kids, we have all grown up seeing magic tricks and having great curiosity on how the trick is done. When we were young, we thought it was real magic. I mean, how the hell would this be possible if not with magic? As we got older, we understood that these are all illusions, but most of us still don't know how they're done. Don't worry, we will show you how some of the most famous magic tricks are performed. Ready to reveal the hidden secrets? Let's get started. Torn Man. The Torn Man is one of the most confusing magic tricks out there, normally done in public as a prank to mess with people. Looks quite real at first glance, but it's not that complicated either. This illusion only works when looking at the magician from the front. If you look at him from a side angle, you can see that it's a trick with clothing. The magician attaches half of a plastic mannequin to his baggy jeans, making it look like his body is split in half, and that he is holding the other half of the body with his hands. Then the illusionist gets in a very weird position to make the trick look completely real. This magic trick does not require that much skill, but it definitely requires the ability to stay in a weird spot for a long time. Swallowing of large objects. Most of you have already come across and seen magicians eat large, sharp objects such as swords and other long objects during one of their tricks. Today, we won't be covering swords, but instead we're going to reveal a very similar magic trick but with a long balloon instead of a sword. It may not be as exciting as swallowing a sword, but let's face it, it still gets you wondering how exactly the magician does it, especially if the magician is skilled and does it with some flair, and at the same time entertaining the audience. Ready to find out the secret behind this magic trick? Look no further. Before the magician goes on stage, he prepares it by piercing it with a small needle on the closed end. The more the magician pierces it, the quicker the swallowing action will be. That is basically all the preparation that this trick needs. Then the magician inflates the balloon without letting the air escape from the pierced end, whilst at the same time distracting the audience with jokes. Then all that needs to be done is for the magician to put the closed end of the balloon into his mouth whilst letting the air slowly escape from the holes in the other end. The balloon will slowly deflate in the magician's mouth, creating the illusion that he is swallowing it. Then the magician hides it in his cheek and talks to the audience as if the balloon has already been digested. Then the magician does swallowing gestures to fully set the trick and fool the audience completely. The Strangling Chains. This trick was first shown by famous American magician Criss, who is now known worldwide as one of the craziest magicians out there. He has done magic tricks with almost every single object that was given to him, but this time we will be explaining a magic trick he did with an iron chain. Criss wraps the iron chain around his neck in a loop and gives both ends to his audience or volunteers. After bracing for the trick, he tells the audience to pull both ends of the chain as hard as they can, and then this happens. 3. As you can see, the chain just falls off his neck without breaking at all. Criss then shows that his neck is unharmed and the previous tension that the audience had slowly turns into laughter. However, we will show you that this trick is really not that dangerous after all. The chain is 100% real and can be made out of steel or any other strong metal out there. That is how the magician sells the trick, by making the audience feel that it's real metal. The trick is behind the way that the magician wraps the chain around his neck. When you look at it from the front, it looks like the chain has been looped really tightly around the magician's neck several times. However, when looking at it from the back, you can clearly see that the back of the chain is looped onto itself, which means that the chain is not really closed onto the magician's neck. The only step left is to convince the audience that you're risking your life, maybe with a few deep breaths or a terrified face. Voila! You are now Harry Potter. Levitation. If you've ever been to a tourist attraction, maybe in the center of a city, you've probably seen a street magician levitating in the air with a rod in his hand. This magic trick fools everyone that sees it for the first time. Like, how the hell is this possible? But after a deep look at the trick itself, the explanation is pretty simple. The magicians that do this act like living statues, staying in the same spot without moving for hours on end. Usually, magicians that do this trick wear traditional Eastern costumes, resembling a monk or a priest, in order to look like they're meditating. The real trick behind this so-called magic trick is a perfectly engineered piece of equipment. ground. They wear several thick layers of clothing to hide the mechanism behind the trick. The actual device used is pretty simple. It has 3 main elements: a chair, a holding mechanism that is embedded in the walking stick and goes through the chair and to the ground, and a platform that holds everything into place hidden under a carpet. As you can see, it's not a complicated trick, just a perfect assignment of engineering. Congratulations to this account for winning the blue iPhone 12 giveaway. We'll be contacting you shortly. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on to be notified about some other future giveaways that we have planned. Zig Zag Body Trick. Perhaps one of the most famous tricks out there that everyone knows is when a magician splits a person's body, normally his assistant, in multiple pieces in separated boxes. The magician sticks big knives into the closed closet, making it look like he's impaling the girl. The real magic happens when he moves some of the boxes around. And look at that, the assistant's body seems to have been split in half. If there's a single magic trick that confuses people the most, it's this one. We're going to show you how it's done. It's quite simple, really. The assistant's main task is to stand completely straight inside the closet with her hands and her feet in a normal position. Once inside the closet, the assistant moves her body in a way that the knives will not touch her. When the middle part is moved, only the assistant's hand moves, and the black wall makes it seem like her body has vanished. Here is a picture explanation of the trick. Also note that the inside of the closet is bigger than it seems from the outside. Signed card passing through glass. The magician asks a member of the audience to pick a totally random card and put it back into the deck, without the magician seeing it at all. The magician then shuffles the deck and acts like he can't find the specific card. Then he throws the whole deck at a window or a glass surface, and this is when the magic happens. The card picked by the viewer magically sticks to the glass, and the rest of the deck falls. Not only that, but the card is stuck on the other side of the window. You might think that this is real magic, but hold your horses. We're going to explain. For this trick to be done, the magician needs 2 identical decks of cards and an instructed assistant. The trick needs to be performed in a place with a big window. The viewer needs to stand backwards to the glass. The magician asks the person to pick a card, remember it, and put it back in the deck without showing it to the magician. Then the magician shuffles the deck and acts like he can't find the card picked by the viewer. After a few attempts, he pretends to be mad and throws the whole deck at a window, and mysteriously the chosen card sticks to the glass. The trick is that the hidden assistant was near the viewer the whole time, and once she saw what card was picked, she finds the same one in her own second deck. Then, with some coordination between her and the magician, she sticks it to the glass without the viewer noticing. That's how this trick is done. No magic, just teamwork. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments which magic trick has baffled you the most, and which trick would you like us to reveal in the future. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay in touch with future uploads.